Welcome to In Your City Show right here at the Lou Information Station. It is happy hour, hottest happy hour in
How's that?
STL. How hot are we?
406. Where are you at right now? What are you drinking? And what do you, I don't know. It's 406. It's 5 o'clock somewhere is the name of that one
That's
song.
and that's what that's
But
what it
it's
should
four
be right
o'clock. No
now.
reason you can't start. It's 5 o'clock actually on the East Coast right now.
Okay, all right, so we can go ahead.
So if
So it
you're
doesn't
listening on
really
the East
matter.
Coast, you can go ahead and have a drink. And then those of you here in St. Louis, it's still 4. You can wait an hour.
Wait an hour. You don't have to wait an hour. You can start whenever you would like, but maybe you just want a mocktail. So welcome to the show. We've got a good show ahead of us. We're going to be learning about what's going on at the St. Louis Crisis Nursery, which is a great organization. I am so old that
What?
I can remember putting on a bridal event at Mid Rivers Mall, and which was a really long time ago. And they
Pretty
were
soon, just the fact that you say mall will date you.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And because there will be no such thing. But I had a bridal fashion show, and whenever I did events, still same thing. We always give back to a charity, and they were the choice of charity to be at the event. I mean, it was so long ago. I can't even like. I want to say 30 years ago or whatever,
Wow.
35 maybe. I think they were just getting started.
I believe you're right because I think I saw somewhere they were celebrating 38 years.
Yeah.
Was that?
They,
I don't know if this was that this year or last
Yes,
year.
I think it is. We'll find out exactly, but yeah, it's been over 39. They were just getting started. That was like one of the first things to be raising some funds for them. Isn't that crazy?
That is
Boy,
crazy.
time goes
Time
by
is.
so quickly. But so I'm wondering, okay, so I'm reading on and get all nervous, of course, because it talks about Dolly Parton like postponing 6 shows, and her younger sister is requesting prayers, her sister Frida,
Yeah.
requesting prayers for her. And it's like, okay, I know she's getting up there in age, so that makes you nervous, but she's in better shape. She look way better than me. She
She
looks
looks.
amazing.
I know. It's
As
like
she said,
really.
she has great doctors. But what
Well,
have you heard about it?
apparently she's okay because today she released this.
Natalie, bring your camera over here. I want to say something. Well, today's October the 8th, and obviously I'm here doing some commercials for the Grand Ole Opry, which is why I'm dressed kind of like a country western girl. But before I got started, I wanted to say, I know lately everybody thinks that I am sicker than I am. Do I look sick to you? I'm working
No.
hard here. Anyway, I wanted to put everybody's mind at ease, those of you that seem to be real concerned, which I appreciate. And I appreciate your prayers because I'm a person of faith. I can always use the prayers for anything and everything. But I want you to know that I'm okay. I've got some problems, as I mentioned, back when my husband Carl was very sick. That was for a long time. And then when he passed, I didn't take care of myself. So I let a lot of things go that I should have been taken care of. So anyway, when I got around to it, the doctor said, we need to take care of this. We need to take care of that. Nothing major, but I did have to cancel some things so I could be closer to home, closer to Vanderbilt, where I'm kind of having a few treatments here and there. But I wanted you to know that I'm not dying. Did you see that AI picture of Reba and me? Oh, Lordy. I mean, they had Reba at my deathbed, and we both looked
Wow.
like we need to be buried. But and I thought, oh my Lord. But if I was really dying, I don't think Reba would be the one at my deathbed. She might come visit me earlier, but anyway, there's just a lot of rumors flying around. But I figured if you heard it from me, you'd know that I was okay. So anyhow, that's what I wanted to say. And I'm not ready to die yet. I don't think God is through with me, and I ain't done working. So I love you for caring, and keep praying for me.
She's amazing. And yes, I will keep her in my prayers. She's an amazing woman. But that's what's so scary about AI. There are so many fake things out there. And it's really sad that this continues to go on, and that like we always talk about the internet, it's great. Like right now, our shows, streaming. I mean, there's a lot of great things about the internet, but all the fake stuff and how things reach you to get you going on your algorithms, and then it reaches someone else in another way to keep us all divided and crazy and not know what the truth is.
Yeah.
I would love to have that video to share, because I think people need to start sharing these things. Luckily, she has the ability to get a film crew and, make a quick video and put it up there to let
Yep.
people know, because, as soon as I read that, I thought, oh my gosh, what's going on with her? And
I
yes,
could
it
just
does
hear
sound
her
like,
talking to her sister. Now, why would you go put something on the internet like that and ask for prayers and have everybody going crazy?
but, she does have some, I mean, it's good for her. Like you're sitting there, you've got something
Oh my
going on with
gosh.
your jaw. I've got
I
a
yawn. This is when you're getting old, when you yawn and your jaw goes out of place or something. Something popped, and I can't open my mouth. You say to do the 3-finger test.
yeah.
I can't even.
So
I can't even get two
yeah.
in
So
there.
apparently, if you to test if if your jaw feels weird or something's wrong, you take 3 fingers vertically,
Yeah.
and you should be able to put them in between your top teeth and your bottom, which I did it and I can. And you can't. That's a sign that obviously something's going on in the jaw area. But sometimes things are going on and you can't even take the time to take care of it or take care of yourself. And luckily, she's able to say, hey. I don't even know why she's still doing what she's doing. Maybe that's what keeps her young. I mean, she's got more money than I'm sure any of us can think about. And she's what, in 82 or something now?
Yeah.
She should
I gotta
be.
move this pillow. Did we put these pillows in here last time?
I decorate.
They're
So
exactly crazy.
that was great. You probably could have just set it on the
I
side of your chair, then that whole show that you just put on in front of the camera. But hey, so but I think if I could take the time, and just be able to have that break like that, I think everybody needs to have somehow that ability to take a short break from life and take it easy for a little bit and take care of your health. But you've made a doctor's appointment, so I'm proud of you. Most
Yeah.
time you don't do that. You're going to
Awesome.
actually go to the doctor's in the
Starting to be a
morning.
little bit smarter and actually listen to my wife.
Well, you know what? I think we should nip this right in the butt right now. It's not listening to anybody around you, your wife, your brother, your sister, your mother, your dad. Actually, there has to be a point where you're smart enough to listen to your body. If
Right.
something doesn't feel right, then you should be able to have the ability to. You should do something about it and take care of your body, right?
Exactly.
I think it's so important. So, well, speaking of bodies and speaking of people and speaking of little ones out there, we are going to meet our first guest today, which is Lindsay Kyonka.
Very close.
Wow.
First, give her that.
There is your mic to go ahead and just clip on your collar there. So, Lindsay, say your last name.
Kyonka.
Kyonka, gosh, it's KY. So
Yeah,
I guess I can
very
go.
close.
I should have went with Kai because our grandson's Kylan. It's KY. Should have really hit my brain first to want to say Kai, but of course I didn't. You are here with the St. Louis the St. Louis Crisis Nursery, and you are the Chief Impact Officer, CIO.
Yes.
So many CEO,
Let's
COO.
switch her out real quick.
Okay, I'm going to switch you out and get you better sound, I would imagine.
No, I just had to turn the volume up on that one. And
Oh.
it was easier for me to turn the volume up on this. Just
There
give
you
it to
go.
her.
Now we know. So we were just talking about Dolly Parton, and it's going around right now that, her health is bad and pray for her. And then you find out these videos out there are AI, which I'm sure you've been a part of. We just don't know what's real or not real anymore. Makes it so difficult. So, but thank you for being here today and talking about the St. Louis Crisis Nursery. I was mentioning how long has it been? Is it 39 years?
39 years. That's right. We're going to be hitting 40 next year. So.
Wow. Well, it's unbelievable. I had an event and you all were just getting started. I was one of your first events that was raising money through a bridal fashion show I was doing. And you guys had a booth there and, it was like a whirlwind of just getting out there and starting to, tell people about who you are and helping the babies and that. So here you are, here we both are 39 years later and everything's going strong, which you're very young. So you weren't at that event, I'm sure.
I was not at that one, but I have been at the nursery for about 15 years now.
Oh,
so,
that's fantastic. I'm sure once you get in there, it's really hard to leave.
Yes,
and
there are a lot of us that have stuck around a while.
and to let go. So Lindsay, let me get to I got everything backwards here and let me get rid of this because we've already we've already talked about it, but let's talk about the St. Louis Crisis Nursery. I'm sure there's people out there that have not met you all before, and you've been around for 39 years. To kind of tell us, what is the mission behind the St. Louis Crisis Nurseries, helping local families?
Sure. So, like you said, we've been here for 39 years in the community, and our entire mission is really about child abuse and neglect prevention. We want to make sure that every single family in our region has the resources that they need to thrive. And so we do that through a variety of different programs. The one that we're best known for is our 24-hour emergency respite care program.
Okay.
So through that program, we have 5 nurseries around the region where kids can come stay in the middle of a family crisis, and they can stay for a couple hours, a couple of days, whatever it is that their family needs. And while they're there, we're providing art and play therapy, medical care. We're supporting those parents as well, because we know how hard it is to go through really difficult things alone.
Mm-hmm.
So we get families that use that service for so many different reasons. Each year we have about 4,000 admissions across our sites. So it's a lot of families that come through our doors. And oftentimes they're facing challenges like housing insecurity. We get families that call that don't have a safe place to stay. We get families that call because there's a lot of chaos in the home, and things are just really stressful. We get a lot of parents, though, that are just trying to do everything by themselves. So single moms that are getting up really, really early, working 2 to 3 jobs, doing everything they can just to kind of maintain for their little ones. And sometimes they just need a little bit of time and space to care for themselves. So it's really that whole variety.
4,000.
I know. Out of those things, all those things you mentioned that you guys cover and that you do, what is probably the most prevalent, the one that you have to take care of the most out of those things?
So that's a really great question. A lot of times what we do, we have a 24-hour helpline that families call first. And so we are categorizing calls when they first come in. And a lot of times what parents are reporting is just feeling very overwhelmed. And so that's kind of that first thing that we start talking through with them. But often there are so many underlying challenges that are there too. So we certainly see, like I said, families that are dealing with things like housing insecurity, that are looking at losing their housing. There's been an increase in that in the last couple of years. We're up to about 1/3 of our families now that are facing that. But I would say probably the biggest thing is just, like I said, what we call overwhelming parental stress. And if you're a parent, you know how hard it is to care for little ones, and doing that without a community is almost impossible. And so we're there to kind of step in and be that community and that support for families that don't have anyone else.
That's so important too, because I mean, if a mother gets stressed, we've heard so many times where the stress has led to something else horrific, So if you can take care of that, nip that in the bud right away with the stress, it's going to eliminate some of the other things that could follow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, and just letting that parent know that they're not alone, and that there's a whole community that cares for them. Not just us, but the other providers that we work with, that we partner with, our supporters. We consider them part of that community too.
That's awesome.
Just reducing that isolation is so huge. And for many of our parents, that really is that main piece, is just not having that support system.
Yeah, how, I guess, are you working with other organizations? Because you're talking about a really big, I mean, all of them are very big problems, but when they don't have anywhere to live, that doesn't just take place within hours to find some place.
Sure.
How do you work with a family that's in need, that is just a mother maybe alone, stranded, or a family that is lost so they don't end up on the streets, homeless? How do you manage a crisis like that?
Yeah, so we have a really incredible team of social workers, counselors, and we are really looking in that respite stay to address those immediate needs. So making sure that when kids leave, they have someplace safe and stable to go home to, whether we've worked with that parent to get them into a shelter, or maybe we're helping them to identify another friend or family member, maybe they could stay with short term. So we are working with our community partners that are a bit more resourced as far as some of those housing challenges.
Is there something like, is there such thing? I know there's place for fostering children. Is there foster homes for, say, a mother and a child or family that's lost? Is there anything like that that's set up or looking at, of people being able to take a family in?
Not that I know of right now.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
It would be.
They have different things. They even have the senior care where people are, seniors are coming to roommate, so to speak, to have a place to live. And it seems like, gosh, couldn't we do something where we could foster a family?
Yeah, and they're really, the housing challenges right now in our region
Yeah.
are so tough. We know that a lot of the shelters are full as well, and they're struggling to figure out what's next. So lots of challenges, but we're lucky that we have so many great providers in the area, so many partners we can work with. And then we don't just send families home, and that's not the last step. We have 10 different outreach centers throughout our region where families can go and get additional support. So we provide home and center-based support around parenting needs, what we call case management, so just helping with some of those long-term stability needs for families. And then we also provide basic needs support at those locations. So for our families that are just trying to figure out, how am I going to pay rent this month, if we can help relieve some of that stress by helping out with diapers or maybe some food or some of those other things that they need, then that money can go towards, again, maintaining that housing.
So I would imagine there's so many needs that you have, whether it's food and diapers and supplies, so that you have supplies there to help the families when they need. I was actually there one time because of doing volunteer and putting an event on when there was an emergency call where there was a mom that was in need and had a child, and you were all working on it. It was like I was waiting in the sideline because a call had come in where there was a urgency needed. And you don't realize that. We always talk about that. We live in our day-to-day life, and our problem might be a headache that we have, or things I mean, sure, we've gone through some pretty perfect things that happen in life, but not in the sense of not being able to feed your child or have a place to stay. That's just absolutely terrifying to think of a child, a family out there not having a place to go. What do you look for in needs from people to be able to help with your organization, with St. Louis Crisis Nursery?
Yeah, well, since we've started, and you can attest to this since you were there, but since we've started, we really have relied on the community to be a source of support for the families that we work with. And so our nurseries they function like homes. So anything that you need at your house, we need at our nurseries. So that's everything from paper towels and cleaning supplies. Clothing is huge. So each of those little ones that comes in, they get a new outfit to go home in. And then if there are additional clothing needs that family has, we're trying to support that as well. So sometimes families are moving around quite a bit, and it's difficult to kind of keep track with things. And you know how quickly kids grow out of things. So being able to provide those things for them, all of those sorts of items we need: diapers, wipes, formula. Those are all things that we welcome. And we actually on our website have a whole section about ways that individuals can get involved and support our mission through some of those donated supplies.
It's pretty easy to find you. I mean, if you put in St. Louis Crisis Nursery, you're going to pull up for that. Are you looking for volunteers that work in your nursery as well to help with the children? Is there a certain process for that, I would imagine?
Yes, it can be a bit of a lengthy process because, of course, we want to make sure everyone goes through an extensive background check, that they get training from us about how we provide care and confidentiality. Confidentiality is such a critical part of the work that we do. Sometimes there are families that they would rather that people don't know that they're utilizing that service. And so we really try to keep that confidentiality piece. So there's a lot of training around that for our volunteers. But yes, we love having volunteers there to help provide some of that additional one-on-one support and care for our little ones. So we do have birth through age 12 at our nurseries. So each day is a little bit different. Sometimes when you walk in, there are lots of infants and toddlers. Sometimes we have more bigger kids. So when we have volunteers that can sit down and play a game with one of our older kids, or just spend time rocking one of our little ones, that's so helpful.
How many locations are there?
5.
Wow.
So we have one in South City, one in North County, 2 kind of on the border of St. Charles and St. Louis County, and then one out in Wentzville.
And with just 5 locations to be able to service 4,000 in need, that's quite incredible. So let's talk about your Holiday Hearts program.
Yeah, so that's our next big program coming up. And that really started, it's been around 30 years ago that we started that program. And the idea at that point in time was that we wanted to make sure that there weren't any kids that didn't have anything special to open around the holidays. And so it started out really gift focused. And what we have found is that over the years, there have been a lot more organizations that have come alongside of that work. And so we see lots of agencies and churches helping with those gifts. And so while that holiday program still certainly provides gifts to kids, and we still love to get those donations of gifts, we've shifted a little bit in response to what some of our families have told us they're really, really needing. So we have opportunities through our Holiday Hearts program this year to contribute to our emergency fund so that we can help families around the holidays that are worried about evictions or worried about the utilities being shut off. We can give them that peace of mind that you can just focus on being with your kids around the holidays and making those memories and not have to worry about, am I going to have a safe place to stay? So that's really big. The other thing we're asking for individuals that are interested in it is providing gift cards so that parents can pick out meals for their kids. We all have those special holiday traditions and things we like to do that remind us of being little and our grandparents. And for so many of our families, while they're so grateful for food pantries and that support, being able to go and pick out their own food to make around the holidays is something that's really special and means a lot to them. So that's another way to get involved with that program as well. And all of that's on our website.
Sure, absolutely. And I know you have also a luncheon coming up too. The shop and sip and I don't know. Go ahead and tell us.
Over the top.
I just know I get to shop when I go to it.
So you got shopping.
I get shopping, and then you donate.
It's one of my favorite events of the year.
Yeah,
So
it's really big.
Yes, it's a big luncheon, and we have all of these boutiques that come and sell items. People do some of their Christmas shopping. It's another way to support the nursery in a really fun way. Get to know us a little bit better. Spend time with some of your friends. We invite men too, of course. We tend to get a lot of ladies at that one, though. It's a big shopping event. So
I can shop with the best of them.
Yes, you can.
So yes, that's going to be a whole lot of fun, and that's coming up at the start of November.
And that's gosh, how long have you been doing that event?
Oh, well, that question really puts me on the spot. It's been a really long time since I've been here, and I've been here about, like I said, 15 years. So I know it's been quite a while at least.
Will it be Ameristar again this year?
It will be
Ameristar. Recognize that every year going to it, and all the vendors are wonderful. There's such a great selection and variety of be able to go around, and shop and, get together for a great cause is always a good time. What are some of the other things that St. Louis Crisis Nursery is known for being able to raise money and support the children and families in the community?
Yeah, so we do a couple of different big events throughout the year. We've got, of course, Over the Top for Tots. We have a big formal ball that we host in the spring that raises money for our kids and our programs. And then in the summer, we do a big dine out event. So we just had that in August. And
we've been part of that a few times. The celebrity waiters and waitresses. Yes, we weren't able to this year, but we have our friend John Carney and my friend Laura Hediger, both I can't tell which restaurant they're at actually. I don't know. I usually in Streets of St. Charles, which maybe that's where they're at. Usually Proseno's and a few of them get involved to be part of it, which is a lot of fun and gains a lot of attraction, and everybody can go out to eat and then able to give back from that as well. So it's perfect on everything that you do. So something just to make sure that those that are listening, that it's so important if you have the ability to volunteer. And then of course, it could be one can of formula if it's all you can afford, a thing of diapers. Those things are all so important to be able to get back in. Something that we notice when we're talking to you and other charities, I am just so sad that there's so many out there that need our help.
Yeah.
And if we can just find a way to give, even if it's a small amount, anything goes a long way when it goes to helping these poor children. They don't ask to be part of this, and they get stuck into a world of abuse, neglect, and things happen, of course, in people's lives, where they need that extra help. So we appreciate everything that you do. So again, you can go to St. Louis Crisis Nursery. You can just Google that name. They're going to pop up. You're going to be able to find them, find a way to give back in whatever way you can. And if you're somebody out there that knows a mom, a family, or someone that's in need, send them that way. I saw firsthand you all go to bat, when someone found out that someone was needed. It was actually someone else making the call. They couldn't even make the call that they would be in need, and you guys sprang into action to be able to help that mother. It was a mother that was in need. It was a long time ago when I was in there, but I remember that thinking, wow, here you go, you're in action, to ready to take care of somebody. And someone was in there rocking the babies and helping them while they were there. So there was a lot going on. It's firsthand taking care of the children. So Thank you so much. Lindsay, let me say it correctly this time. It's a KY on there, and it's where did it go? Go ahead and say it. Okay, I'm like, where did your name go? I've got too many notes here. There you go. That's a cool last name, by the way. Thank you for all that you do. We really appreciate it and taking the time to come in here. So I guess I should give one of my worst jokes of the day because Halloween's coming up, and
Here we go.
you might need it, right?
There we go.
Did you wait a minute? That's a really bad one. What's a pirate's favorite letter? Come on.
You know it?
I think it's
Okay.
R. Yeah.
That's so stupid.
I've got little ones.
I tried to catch a frog once, but I missed. You don't get it?
No.
I'm sorry.
What is going on?
We should probably go on breakup. That was so bad. I'm sorry. I tried to catch some fog.
But I missed.
But not a
Now it
frog.
makes
Now it makes sense. I thought, why doesn't that make sense? So I've got more jokes to go through the show. So I hope you can handle it for the day. First of all, I have to say them correctly for them to even work. There should be a sound effect when I do something so stupid. Well, thank you so much for being on the show with us. And now you can take those jokes back with you because they're
Did you have a
so
question of the
good.
day?
I did. It's what's your favorite candy at Halloween?
Oh.
We're going to take it to a break. Lindsay's running out the door right now. And we're going to be
I'm leaving on that show.
On those horrible jokes, I am out of here. But don't worry, we're going to be back with more in the second part of the hour. We're going to take it to a break right now on the In Your City show right here at the Lou Information Station.
Sorry, I didn't know if you had somebody scooting right back in.
It's so cute. I'm like, she's gone.
that.
Stand it. I don't even-
So we'll change SheBang after SheBang. Sick as fuck.
Welcome back to the In Your City show right here at the Lou Information Station. We're so glad to have you. Hey, we want to make sure if you don't have the Lou Information Station on your phone, you can actually download the app, whether it's an Android or an Apple, be able to listen to the radio show anywhere in the world. And of course, we always invite you virtually to watch the show. You can go to louinfo.com, or you can go to the In Your City show with Kelly and Gordon on your YouTube channel and enjoy the shows 24/7 streaming. There you go for that. You can't miss a beat then. So The Voice, can you believe it's in its season 28?
28? No. Well, does The Voice do like 2 shows a year? Like American Idol's like 1 show every year. Does The Voice, for some reason, I think, well, and is that including, don't they have a voice like in Australia and a voice in other countries?
No, I mean, we're talking about The Voice that we watch, on television, the regular
Right, but
voice.
what I'm saying is if they have a voice in other countries,
I don't think so.
then is that included in all
No,
the
I think
shows?
it's, I
I
will
think
have
they
to
do.
look up and find out. I just assumed there was one a year because, it takes a long time for The Voice to work its way. Like, for instance, the October 7th, which was the episode of the NBC singing competition that concluded the coaches, which is Reba McEntire. I
Yes,
don't.
The Voice's global television franchise. They've got one, The Voice of Holland, The Voice UK, The Voice Australia, The Voice Germany, The Voice India.
Right, but that's not included in their 28 seasons. They're not saying The
okay.
Voice, since they have them all over the world, that it's just their 28th season. I don't know how many there are a year. But The Voice that we watch, The Voice that's with Reba, Michael Bublé, Snoop Dogg right now, that's
Gotcha.
has changed their. Have you watched it since they've changed the lead people?
You know what? I haven't. I always liked Blake Shelton when he was on
He
it.
was great. Yeah, there's been, I'm kind of partial to when I first started watching it, when, it was the first people and you kind of got used to them, and they're on there several years, but they haven't been there now. But yeah, I don't know who Niall Horan is. Do you?
No.
Or Neil?
I heard the
Niall.
name, but I can't put a face with.
Maybe we'd know his songs or
Yeah.
something if we heard them. He's one of the coaches, and I didn't know who that was. But it's now they are done. They each have their team, which they each have 12 contestants, and then it'll go, of course, into where one person is
We know
going to
people have
win.
made it big off the American Idol. Has anybody really made it big off The Voice?
That is kind of funny because you do. I wonder if money's coming. They say if your palm itches, money's coming.
Oh, okay.
So I'm waiting for it. I'll be checking the mailbox when we get home.
Grant just sent me a text saying he was
Yeah.
part of the band One Direction. The guy you just
Neil is.
mentioned.
Oh, perfect. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. And that's
Earning your
Grant.
money,
He's in the
Grant.
Grant is
Our board op.
yeah, he's the board operator. He's in the other room right now. So it's sometimes we'd love if you're just sitting right here so he can interact with us. But I guess we'll
Yeah.
look for his text now to help us out.
Yeah, I miss hanging out with the board op and the shows.
Yeah, it does. It makes it more fun. But I feel like I don't really know the people from The Voice. Of course, the young lady that's here locally, that was one of the
Ruby.
final, Ruby. She, of course, because she's here, we heard a lot about her, but I don't know that I can honestly say like you can with Carrie Underwood and some of the big stars that won from The Voice. I don't know. Now, if you're interested, Starbucks is bringing back the Apple Crisp.
Oh,
Sorry.
people that didn't win. Morgan Wallen was on The Voice, but he didn't win, but he's big time country artist. Corin Hawthorne and Cassidy Pope, Jordan Smith, and Sawyer Fredericks, who became household names after their appearance on the show.
And you say that? I've never heard of any of them. Can you actually know those people? Because we're old? Anyway.
Jordan Smith is a Christian artist, musical artist, so they're doing well. But the only one that the biggest name on there is Morgan Wallen.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe I would know the song. Maybe if I heard the song, I would know. But I can say Carrie Underwood, and I can't name even though I know her songs, I can't name a single song right now off the top of my head. But no, I don't know any of those people. So, but that doesn't mean anything. It's just that if they're a household name, you think you would, know them. But anyway, I was saying Starbucks is bringing back apple crisp. Have you had an apple crisp before? Apparently it's a big deal. Everybody was like, you can't wait. You
Kinda
have to
like
bring
the
it back.
McRib for,
I guess so. So it's
do
going
they
to
have
start.
it on the
If you're one of those people, have to have it October 14th. You're going to go
Apple
have your
crisp?
apple crisp. That makes me just want apple pie.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all I can think about. So are we gonna hear from
I
SheBang
think
today?
you better.
I could use a good. I probably should. If I use it in that sentence, I could use a good SheBang. It's probably not gonna sound very good right now. So what I need is help with my my womanhood here.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go.
Let's see what Laura and Dodie have to say.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Welcome to Fast Track Friday. I'm Laurie.
And I'm Dodie.
And today we are talking about sleep. And actually, what we're going to be talking about is the lack of sleep.
Yes.
Because we are really not sleeping so great in midlife.
No. So we've heard of a good night's sleep, but it's been a really long time, maybe 2015 since we've had a good one.
Yeah, like back when I could drink a Diet Coke and fall asleep at 10 and then wake up feeling amazing the next day. Yeah, that's not happening anymore.
No. Midlife sleep, it's such a mind trip. And if you're sitting there thinking it's just you, absolutely not. This is a thing, and it's a huge thing, especially in perimenopause and menopause.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Your hormones are shifting, and estrogen and progesterone, they are two huge players in the sleep game, and they start dropping off in midlife. And that means you might be hot, you might be anxious, your brain might be on high alert all night long.
So your nervous system basically starts acting like there's a bear in the room. It's freaking out, but spoiler, that bear is just your to-do list running through your head constantly.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but when I'm sleep deprived, everything feels harder. I'm more reactive. I get that like really wired but tired feeling. And then the worst part is my memory. I have that brain fog. I can't focus.
And that's cognitive fog. And you start thinking, am I broken? What's wrong with me? And there's nothing wrong.
No, and I just want to say this really loud for the people in the back. Your body is going through a massive transition and you don't need to be fixed. You just need support.
So let's talk about the tools. First up is sleep hygiene. That's not just wellness jargon. It means dimming your lights, cutting your screens an hour before you're going to sleep, and keeping your bedtime consistent, even on the weekends.
Yeah, so no ragers till 3 a.m. on Friday nights.
No, we're past ragers. And second, cool it down, literally. A cooler room actually does help regulate your core temperature, which can drop during just even deeper sleep. I've even started using one of those little portable fans right by my bed, and it's helped me more than I expected.
Yeah, blowing right on your face.
Yeah.
With the window open in winter.
Right.
Third, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I hate to be the Debbie Downer, but you got to watch the alcohol. Yeah. I know it feels relaxing in the moment, but it really does mess with your REM sleep, and it throws your blood sugar way out of whack. For me, I wake up really wired and kind of sweaty and like racing thoughts in the middle of the night, and then I can't get back to sleep.
So you can also try magnesium, especially magnesium glycinate. It's like a gentle, it's a hush for your nervous system. It's like, just settle down and be quiet. I take mine with a little herbal tea mix at night, like a little mocktail with a little tart cherry juice. And I like it.
Tart cherry also has natural melatonin. So tart cherry is a great one for right before bed. Yeah, and if you're waking up hungry in the middle of the night, here's a little trick. It might be a blood sugar drop. So a tiny high fat snack before bed, like a spoonful of almond butter, can really help stabilize your blood sugar overnight.
Right. And then there's one more. If you can't fall asleep after 20, 30 minutes, get out of bed, do something calming and stimulating, like stretch or read or start journaling. Okay. Don't just lay there spiraling, because you'll never go to sleep. You got to let your brain reset.
Sleep isn't just a nice to have kind of thing in your life. It's absolutely essential and one of the most important things. It's how our brains detox. It's when our hormones recalibrate. It's when we heal. And if you find something that works for you, share it. Let's share our solutions instead of just suffering in silence.
Right.
So if you're interested in learning more, you can find us on Instagram at SheBang Menopause, or you can head to our website at getshebang.com to check out our subscription box and what we have going on over there. We've got lots of tools. We've got community. We've got monthly boxes with hormone-friendly support, and we don't want you to feel miserable. We want you to feel supported.
Right. So just remember, we're always here in this with you, whether you have sleep or you don't have sleep.
Yep. So see you guys next Friday.
Bye.
And hopefully you're well rested.
Well rested.
I love that they had the eye mask on while they were doing
Oh, yeah.
their segment there. Would have been hilarious. They should have just been sitting in the bed. That would have been great time with sleep. Sleep is so important. I mean, it truly is, and everything is right on what they're talking about. Your hormones can really interfere with that.
You know what's so hard that she said to make sure your bedtime is consistent?
Yeah.
That is so hard,
Well,
especially during football season because you
yeah.
got Monday night football. That doesn't get over till 10:30.
And then you get Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, and it gets a little bit ridiculous, and
It's
Sunday.
hard to go to bed on a consistent time every night.
Yeah, I think people that are lucky that go to bed and don't have a TV in the room, they probably do much better. When you have a TV in your room, we're one of those that want to go in and binge watch something or finish watching the game or whatever it is, and then you lay there. But what you crack me up, you can sit there, watch something, and can't keep your eyes open. You're falling asleep, and then you go to bed and you're wide awake. I don't even understand.
TV's like a pacifier for me. It just knocks me out.
Well, speaking of movies, I know we like scary movies now, but we kind of made this thing like we'd watch scary movies one every night. It's like the 30 days of Christmas before Christmas or whatever. Ours is the 30 days before Halloween, watching scary movies. And it's been like having nightmares and crazy dreams. So we're like, okay, we got to get away from the crazy shows for a little bit because the brain is on overload. And so last night we decided not to watch anything scary.
Well, it wasn't so much scary too. It's like we've been watching that Tyler Perry show. What is
Black Beauty or Beauty. I think it's Black Beauty, isn't it?
it? Beauty and Black.
Beauty and Black. That's
That's disturbing.
They're pretty evil people.
It's a pretty disturbing movie. Yeah, well, it's kind of like the one with Pierce Brosnan. What was the one he was where his family was?
He was a bad guy. Usually we always see him as a good guy all the time.
Mafia or something.
Yes, yeah. There's a lot of movies like that with a lot of gross. I think they're trying to always hit that other level, and then it's scary to think, wow, is that really going on out there around us? That live in our little bubble over here. But speaking of scary as well, Charlie Hunman, he's the guy who played in Sons of Anarchy.
Oh,
it was the main character, the blonde.
Okay.
They all drove
I still have never watched that.
It's funny.
I know what you're talking about.
But it's funny when you watch it, he speaks like, English, regular pronunciation, but he's actually British or is he Australian? But he has a very heavy accent. And then when he plays his role, of course, he, talks like a regular voice. So it's kind of funny when you see a lot of people change their voice. But the thing about him that I'm getting at, his girlfriend had one rule about him playing the character. He played it recently. We haven't watched it. I'm going to have to really prepare myself for this if I do watch it. I haven't watched the Jeffrey Dahmer. I know of the story, but to watch it, because it's true. I mean, I know that scary movies that aren't true, there are crazy people out there like that, but to know that the mindset of these people, what they did is incredible. And this Ed Gein, who was a serial killer, he plays him in it. And think about, we're talking about how we have a hard time watching really scary movies. And then, how you don't sleep well, kind of stays with you in your mind. It can kind of play with you a little bit. Imagine playing the character of one of these
serial killers
or these awful monsters, that are out there. And he actually, shared some insight, with his girlfriend, because his girlfriend said she had one rule about him playing that role, and he was not allowed to come home. I mean, of course he's allowed to come home, but she wanted him to stay somewhere, be wherever it was, to detox from that role and come out of it. And that was what she said to him, and he actually did have to take some time alone, and he had like a rule of engagement before going back home so he could come out of that mindset. I mean, think about that. It takes a long time to make a movie, and there's some pretty gross, obviously. Obviously the role that he played, he was crazy the entire time, so you have to get into that mindset. I remember a few of the stars, when they went on where they won like an award, the Academy Awards,
right,
and they come up to get their award, they were kind of still
in the character.
Yeah, they were still weird. Like, it affected them. And I mean, think of Matthew McConaughey when he lost all that weight. He became like bone skeletal, to play that role. Do you know which movie I'm talking about? By any chance? You're pretty good usually remembering things like that, the name of it, but.
No, but I do
Sorry,
remember
not to make your brain hurt.
Was it called Dallas something?
I
It was an
well, you
AIDS
said it.
patient, right?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes,
he
and
was
that
trying. He was getting drugs from out of the country, and it was curing these people from AIDS. Not curing them, but medicating them, and they were living.
wow,
And of course, government and everything's trying to shut them down
right.
from doing that. But
But so to tell you something even stranger about it, Charlie, when he finished his role, he literally drove up, uh, gosh, Chicago, which is close to where Ed Gein lived in Wisconsin. So where they were filming the movie, and he needed some extreme decompression. He said he drove up, he spent the day and visited the gravesite and spent time with Ed Gein at his gravesite, which he said was a healing way to say goodbye and put a full stop to end the thing. Isn't that crazy?
that
Can you
is
imagine
crazy.
sitting at the
Now,
gravesite
is
of
that
this
a
serial
series or a
killer?
movie?
I believe it's split into like a 6 series. You don't watch it all in one night, but to think that sitting at someone's gravesite, right?
I know.
And like saying goodbye to him, like he had to let go of him out of
Giving you
his.
your character back.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, these actors, you think about it, I mean, they take on a huge role when they take on a any role, but taking on a true story of somebody where they're living it and breathing it. I mean, that's pretty scary. So it does make me, and I like Charlie. I Charlie Hunman, however you say his name. I like him. I think he's a great actor, and so it kind of makes me want to watch it. Reading this about how he and his girlfriend, have made this, and that he went to his gravesite to let go of it. That's incredible. Breakups, just in talking about actresses, breakups are hard too. And Nicole Kidman recently got her bangs cut. Did you do anything when you got a divorce to change your way, change your dress? I don't know if it's different for girls and
I don't
guys.
know. I lost
Like
weight.
she changed her hair. Well, that's just from your heart
One
broken,
thing I do
right?
know is that I needed more clothes and a lot of clothes because I lost a lot of weight. And if I would have known about St. Louis Closet Company at the time, I would have known that I would have needed to
That's
hire
true.
Jennifer Williams to come bring me a new closet because I did start buying more clothes at the time, changing my whole wardrobe. But if you need someone to give you a whole new look and a whole, not just on your body, but in your closet, that would be locally owned Closet Co., St. Louis Closet Co. And Jennifer Williams is the owner of that. And they do so many great things. They got a great showroom. Go there, find out go in there, and it's not just closets. So it's like pantries, it's mud rooms, it's even garages. I love the way she redid her whole new garage out there. And they are all in Maplewood on Brentwood Boulevard.
Big Ben.
Big Ben, I'm sorry.
And
Big
the thing
Ben.
about it is everything is locally sourced.
Right.
Everything is done right there in house, which is wonderful. And that it's going to, you're not waiting for something to come in from another country. It's going to be done there. And they just won a huge award because of their service. They have literally never missed an appointment. So kudos to Jennifer Williams with St. Louis Closet Company. If you're thinking about whether teeny space or a large space, she can take care of it for you. But and I know we're talking about closets and have you done anything different, but Nicole Kidman with that's the big talk, their recent breakup, which I never saw that coming because I thought they were so perfect, of course. But she went to Paris Fashion Week, which she was seen there with the Taylor Sheridan, which I think they're good friends because he's a big producer. There's so many shows because she Lioness and the different things like that Nicole Kidman's been part of. So I'm sure she was there because of that. But I got new perfume.
You did?
Yeah, I changed my smell. There
I
you go.
haven't had a chance to even smell you, really.
You want to smell me? We're getting to the show now, so you can smell me.
I'll smell you once we go off the air because it might lead to other things.
Do you do things, do you change your ways when you have a breakup or something goes differently in your life? Sometimes a little change can make a little difference and make you feel better. So until our next show, like we always say,
I'll let you know how she smells.
Yeah, I'll let you know. So until our next show, we want to say to you, have a great rest of the evening and cheers.